Our coverage continues now with Lynna Lai, who has local reaction and takes a look at laws in Ohio when it comes to claims of sexual abuse.
I was not surprised.
Cleveland litigation attorney and former federal prosecutor Subodh Chandra.
You can do anything, grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
He essentially testified against himself. As soon as he did that, I knew he was done. Stick a fork in him.
And for advocates of rape survivors,
it's important that survivors know that they are believed because verdicts like this validate their experiences.
E. Jean Carroll's civil case against Trump for actions in the 1990s were possible because of a New York law passed last year. It suspended the statute of limitations for 1 year to allow sexual assault survivors to sue in civil court. But in Ohio, adult victims are up against the clock. Civil statutes of limitations for rape and sexual battery range between 1 and 6 years from the date of the offense, depending on the facts of the case and where you live.
For sexual assault victims, if you've been the victim of a crime of that kind of heinous nature and you're suffering that kind of trauma, 1 year is not enough time.
The fuzzy Ohio laws mean that if you live in, say, Cuyahoga County, adult victims have just 1 year to file suit. But in Franklin County, courts have allowed 6 years.
Unfortunately, if you live in Cuyahoga County, you have fewer rights than someone who lives in Franklin County.
While the matter waits to be clarified by the Ohio Supreme Court, that clock for survivors strikes advocates as something that needs to change. And a bill right now in the Ohio House would eliminate the civil statute of limitations for victims of rape and for victims of child sex abuse. They would be able to sue anytime until they turn 55. Right now, that limit is at age 30, Russ.
Lynna, what are opponents of that bill saying?
Right. Well, you know, the whole purpose of statutes of limitations is to protect a person from being prosecuted for a crime after evidence becomes less reliable over time. But with crimes like sexual violence, it often takes years, if ever, for a victim to come forward.
And again, this happened in 1996 with E. Jean Carroll.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much, Lynna.